Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Elias and welcome back to Stoneblock 2. In the last episode, we went ahead and made the rainbow generator, which is going to be a major power source for us, as well as starting to set up these crystals. And yeah, I didn't think they were working last time. They actually are. However, they're very slow, and they have to build up charge in everything before this starts getting all the charge. So it's gonna be a little bit, or at least anything that's an output. Currently, this guy is not connected to anything. Eventually, we'll have it connected up there, and have all those guys powered through crystals. So yeah, last time we made the rainbow generator and started looking at how to set it up, because in order for the rainbow generator to work, 16 other generators have to be running at the same time. And so it's been a little bit of an interesting, it's an interesting time trying to figure out how to get everything to work. Between episodes, I did go ahead and I ran some applied energistics cables down here. We have one on each side, and we're gonna get started on making this stuff work. So there is a handful of things that we need to kind of talk about with all this stuff, and I went ahead and also made an energy condenser, because that's going to make one of these guys a lot easier, specifically the disenchantment generator. So yeah, the culinary generator was another one that we were struggling with a little bit, and we're going to be using mineral berries because, well, the culinary generator doesn't really have anything that's super good that lasts forever. 50 seconds is like the max you can get out of time, and we don't really care about the power that each of the individual generators generate. We want just time. We want them to run. A minute for some mushroom soup and some bread. For the most part, even the really good foods like ultimate stew lasts for about 2 minutes. So mineral berries are what we're going to use. They last for 15 seconds each. However, we can make them from mineral essence, which we are collecting. So yeah, we have only 512. Let's actually go get some upgrades into that one, so that it's a little bit more overhead, basically. But yeah, I still need to change this out for the carpenter block so I can stop things from spawning. Let's see, mineral, there we go. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna start working on getting everything together that we need. Now there is a few things that I'm not sure about. Nether stars, for example. Nether stars go in the nether star generator and last for 2 minutes. They do generate a ton of power though, so that is a good thing. The question is, are we gonna have enough nether stars, or do I need to just do one of these and get a few stacks of nether stars? You know what? It might be best to do that one with a drawer. So, for example, the which one is it? The halitosis generator. I have a drawer full of dragon's breath, and I think that's what we're going to do with the nether stars as well. So that should be fine. We can get plenty of nether stars and just fill up a drawer with it and call it a day. So that works nicely. In fact, I'm going to take some of these nether stars with me. Or actually, we're going to take the singularities. Yeah, we're gonna take 2 stacks of singularities. That's going to be good. That is what we're going to use with the energy condenser and making the enchanted books. So let's start getting some of this set up. And the problem that we're going to have is we need to have buses. We are going to need to teach the system how to make a handful of things. So hopefully we can do this fairly easily. The first thing that we're going to need Let's see. Is this too difficult to make? No, that's not too difficult to make. We're also going to need some wireless receivers, mostly receivers, and a few transmitters. As we get these generators down, we're actually going to set up a system where we can just turn on and off all of the power. I don't actually know where I want to set the switch up for, but maybe we'll put it up here for now. So let's start getting some stuff together. We're going to need various buses from Applied Logistics. We are going to need, I believe they are export buses. Exports export out of the system. So we're going to teach the system how to make export fluid buses and normal export buses. Those are both going to be very important. And what can we get rid of right now? We don't need glass vials anymore. Files. Those are a thing of the past. So the export buses are going to be really important, and then the crafting cards are also going to be fairly important. So let's see, what else can we get rid of? Blank patterns. Don't need to know how to make blank patterns. I could increase the amount of interfaces and all this that we have, but meh. For now, I'm not worried about that. So with that, we should be able to start working on everything we need. Now, one thing that I want to see, coal, we are going to need to have a pattern for blocks of coal. And what to get rid of? Let's see, is there anything? We don't need roosts anymore. We have all of those that we need, and that should be fine. So let's just kind of start with basics. So overclock generator, furnace generator, and we're going to need let's go ahead and get I don't know, 4 buses of each. And we're going to want a handful of crafting cards. Once those are done. And I know we're going to need at least 2 fluid buses because we need one for milk, we need one for lava. And that is going to be easy enough because we have a lot of buckets of lava and milk from our cows. So let's get a few crafting cards. And we're also going to need cables. I have a few cables currently, but yeah, it is making pure Certus quartz right now. So what we're going to end up doing with all of this is pretty simple. Let's just go back to the buses. There's a couple crafting cards that should make 2 more here in a second once it makes the calculation. There we go. Alright, so the first set of things that we're going to do is things that require just general fuel. So that includes the survival generator, and we're going to how do I do this? So if we break that, does the... No, it doesn't. Okay. Let's just break this one and put it back. And we'll connect this back up to this guy, and we'll get everything situated in a little bit. But we are going to need a couple more things. We're going to need some... let's see, how do I want to do this for this one? I think what we're going to use some item conduits. Just some basic item conduits. We can get speed upgrades if we want. And we're going to want a chest. But we're not going to want a normal chest. We're going to use a mini chest. So this will hold a single stack of an item. And so what we can do is, let's see, how do we want to do this? If we put, so there's 16 various generators that we need to place. So 4 in each section. Something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 and 4. Oh, that is not where we want that. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, something like this will be nice and somewhat symmetrical. But more than anything, it's going to work for our purposes. So I guess we'll just use these 3 in the corner. And we'll do something. How do I want to do this? We need to have our chest for coal somewhere over here. And so what we could always do is put it here. Can we open this? We can. Perfect. And then we're probably going to need to make more glass fiber cables, or glass cables. And we're just going to do something like this. We are going to attach an export bus to that guy. And we're going to put a block of coal in there. And we're going to put a crafting card. And so it should start crafting up blocks of coal. And then what we're going to want to do is have, and then I think we can also put some acceleration cards in there, or something we might want to do is go ahead and tell the system to make a bunch of coal. Let's just tell it to make like 100, so that it has some kind of in supply. There are better ways to do this, but I'm not too worried about that right now. What we are going to want to do is, we want more cables. That's right. So let's grab some more cables. And that should not take too long to make. And then once we have some of the stuff set up, we should be able to kind of make it a little bit like nicer running. But we're just going to 1, 2, 3, and connect these up to the bottom of that guy. Actually, we're gonna go vertical as much as possible. That is too vertical, but it's fine. So we'll get this set up, and this will run all of our furnace generators, basically. So the overclock, the furnace, and the survival. So we just put those here. And I think we're going to put survival there. And I'm going to have them all facing kind of the same direction. We're going to put the overclock there and the furnace there. So these will all be insert only. And one big thing that we need to do is say that these are redstone on. So they require redstone to be on. And that is super important for how we're going to make this all work. We're going to have each and every one of these connected to a wireless receiver. which will receive a redstone signal. And whenever we want to turn the rainbow generator on, whenever we have enough stuff to turn the rainbow generator on, we just flip that switch. So that is this side. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is extract always active. And this is going to start getting stuff. And then we're also going to want round robin enabled so that it distributes all the coal somewhat evenly. And those guys are all done. So the next set of things that we're going to do, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have the halitosis generator and the dragon's breath. We're going to set this up in the last square here, just so I don't have to move things as much. And this one is going to be really easy. Halitosis, redstone on. We're going to put that there. Actually, no, we're going to put that up one. And we're going to simply do this. So we can always make more of the dragon's breath. That is not a problem. But we're just going to do this. There's 2,000 dragon's breath. Each one of these generates, it takes 10 minutes. So it is not going to be a problem. This is never going to run out. So let's get to the next ones, and let's start using a little bit more of our applied energistic system to transfer items into these guys. So let's use, let's see, the ender generator. The slimy generator requires milk as well as slime. That one's going to be trickier. Frosty generator is just ice. Pink generator is just pink dye. And do we know how to make pink dye? That is... Oh, we are collecting pink dye. Okay. Why are we collecting... Oh, I guess it's the... Is it the chicken? Okay, so if we want, we can put another upgrade on that. And I think I will. I'll put it just a diamond upgrade. So there's a little bit extra pink dye. And I believe that's coming from the chickens. So that should work just fine. So there is 2. Eyes of Enders and then ice. Eye of Ender we have craftable. And ice we do not. So we're going to need to teach the system how to make ice. Let's go ahead and get another molecular assembler and another interface, and just make this a little bit easier. Let's just put it right here, maybe. Should be fine. Let's do that and that, and we will get a recipe for ice. So ice is, I think, like that. No, is it? I don't know how to make ice out of ice essence, but it is pretty easy. And we'll just go ahead and put that in here. So there is 3. Can we get a 4th one that's fairly easy? We can do mineral. So in order to make the mineral berries, we're going to need another pattern. And I believe it's just the... Yeah, it's just a diagonal. So that is nice and simple. We'll put that in there. And those make quite a bit of supplies. So we're just going to need some crafting cards. And let's go ahead and put these right here. And we're going to put export bus on top of all 3 of these. And I need another export bus. So this is why we told the system how to make export buses. Now, do these have EMC? They do. Let's just go EMC a bunch of them because that's going to be a lot easier. And I think 4 fluids will be enough. We are going to need lava, milk, more lava, question mark. I think that's it. So let's just go ahead and get a full stack of these guys. We definitely don't need that many, but it works. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do the same for crafting card and an acceleration card. Actually, I don't know why I'm making the crafting card. Let's cancel that one. But the acceleration card we can also duplicate if I click the right button. And the acceleration cards will be useful if we want to speed things up. So there is a bunch of those. So let's go ahead and get this done. So what we're going to do is just hook up all these, and it's going to be a lot of the sameness. So I'll tell you guys what, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the stuff done. Anything that we need to make recipes for, I will go ahead and do that. Anything else, I will not, obviously. Now, we have one over there. We hit 8 channels on this. And so that's why I have 2 sides. Some of the more complicated ones, though, are still coming up. So I will get these started. And then we need to do the more complicated ones. We'll probably do those together, but for now, I'm going to get this stuff set up. I'm going to get all the easy stuff set up, and we'll come back once we need to do something a little bit more interesting. So be right back. Alright, so it seems like everything was pretty straightforward. So these 4 are literally just straight exports. I've added acceleration cards to everything I can. And yeah, there are 5 channels being used over here and 8 over here. I have a couple of tricky things. So this guy, the potion generator, has 2 different buses, and I do actually want to test if they work. We're going to test a couple of things, namely the potion and the disenchantment, and the slimy. But there's a few that we don't really like. The death generator. If this is running and we're in the area, we can get the doom status effect, which is terrible. It will kill us after so long. It's like 5 minutes or something. It's awful. Nether star generator generates wither, really bad withering effect in the area. Explosive generator explodes. It doesn't damage blocks, but it does explode. I think it even says this, but I've got everything kind of set up. This side we have a lava tank pumping directly into the magmatic generator and into the heated redstone. It has an export bus for that. We'll get to the disenchantment one in a second. Nether star and the halatoses are literally just items that we'll have to refill at some point. Explosive and death are no different than these 4. The slimy generator is a little bit tricky. It doesn't actually have a tank. It requires buckets of milk. So I have a bunch of buckets into this fluid tank, and the fluid tank is connected to our cows. And so hopefully this will work. And then I just have, I have it so it will pull empty buckets, hopefully up to the from the generator up to the tank, and then it is sending them down. The potion generator, we are using healing potions because we are getting those from witches, I believe, and it is exporting the healing potions in, and then I have an import bus for glass bottles because I believe it leaves the glass bottle, so we need to get those out. And this is the one I'm not sure if it's going to work. So we have a bunch of enchanted books, and these are just, oh, these are just basic enchanted books. Will those work? I don't think those will work. Ooh, this one might be tricky. Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't go in there. Alright, so that's not gonna work. What are we going to do then? Because yeah, this isn't a good thing. I'll have to figure out something for the enchantments. That is going to be the hardest part. We don't have an enchanter. Let's make an enchanter. That is something that might help with all of this. Also, let's get some... let's get a handful of diamonds. And what's something that's relatively low on the EMC? Some aluminum brass. Why not? We'll get a bunch of aluminum brass. I don't really care too much. I just want to empty this out. And we'll just add these until it hits, what, 14.5? Alright, and then pull out a bunch of diamonds. Pull out everything. Okay. That's fine. So this will not work. That one is... That's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Okay. So let's get some other things together. And like I said, I have some ideas of what we can do. I just don't know if it's going to work. We need enchanted books. Now, we can craft books. That's not an issue. Oh, that's why we had that. I'm going to change the book recipe because I believe we have an absolute just ton of leather. We do. So let's get the book recipe. And we'll change that to be the standard, wow, mistype, oh my gosh, I can type, I swear. Let's get that, and that will work a little bit better, hopefully. Okay, so next thing we're gonna real quick, I want to do, let's go ahead and make the enchanter. That does require an enchanted book as well as a machine block. Machine blocks are easy. Let's look at our enchanted books. Do we have electric efficiency? That will work really well. So the question is, if we place this down, and it needs to be within range of a handful of things. So we need some magical wood. And let's just put it down right here for now. And that should... Yep, that should work. Now let's grab some books. And we need paper. We should have plenty of paper. And let's just make, 10 books for right now. Okay, so if we put a book in there and we put some lapis, which we have plenty of lapis, does it do anything? No. It needs power. So let's get a... let's see, do we have any flux points? Yes. Okay, so that will take 5 minutes to enchant a book. That is not particularly good. Okay, so there is also an enchanter. Does this also require RF? It does. So that should not be too difficult to make. And let's see if this one is a little bit better. So let's just go ahead and put that down. So it needs enchanted, it needs some sort of enchanting fluid. Let's see if there's any feed an experience as a fluid, so we need experience. That is a little bit of a problem. So what we need is this experience, which we can get from a fluid tank and solidified experience. That works. So I should have a ton of fluid tanks because I made a bunch of them. The enchanter is just too slow. So we can do this. We are going to grab some solidified experience because it's not like we don't have enough of that. And we are going to push the fluid into here. Works just fine. And we can put power. And that works great. Okay, so that means we need to do a couple new things. Now, let's get an ender chest. Do we have an ender chest? We do. Let's get some lime dye. And we're going to get an import bus. And we're going to put the enchanter setup maybe down here. That has 3 channels. We could put it like just underneath here. Because I don't believe this requires any sort of anything really. So we can just put that there. We can put power on the back, and it's got power. I don't know why the UI is messed up. And then we can put an ender chest like here, and we will put, okay, if I can reach, it might be easier to put, let's just put the ender chest right here. And we can break that block, and then that makes things so much easier. Lime, lime, lime. So we don't need the lapis. And I want to see, so let's do a little bit of testing before we go too much further. And this episode is starting to get long, so we're gonna have to hurry this up. So we're gonna turn this one on for a second. So what happens? It consumes the book. It would appear that it consumes the book. That is perfect. Okay, so that will just set for a second. We'll put another book in there. And what we're going to do, I thought it gave the book back. But all we're going to do is we're going to put this guy here with lime, lime, lime. And I'm going to put just a single book in there. And we'll see, so no inserts, extract always active, but it can't put anything in there. So what we should see back here is our, over here, our book. So this requires books and fluid. So what we need to do is put, how do we want to do this? We'll put fluids on top. Can this configure to go down? And yes, the answer is yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, I need my export buses and some cables. And we're going to set this up to, well, enchant books. We're going to need a crafting card and a few of the acceleration cards. We're going to need 2 import buses. No, export buses, sorry. Wrong direction. And I think that's going to be it. So this guy Needs an export bus for solidified experience. We're going to put a bunch of acceleration cards in there. Let's grab just all of them. And we're going to connect this up. I guess we could do something like this and break that. That works. Okay. So this should get infinite amounts of solidified experience, and then we're also going to want an export bus over here for books, which needs a crafting card and acceleration cards. We're going to put the books there, and then this we just hook up. And final thing we need to do is export, extract, insert. And so what we'll see is the books all go in here, and it's just going to constantly craft up books. So presumably we'll get books. It should be okay. Why are you not crafting books? Let's go ahead and tell it to make a... Oh, because we're missing paper. Okay. Sugarcane. We don't have much. Paper. We have a good bit of paper, but we can get more. So theoretically, that should fix that problem. Okay, so while we're up here, yes, now it's crafting books. No problem. Okay, so we need two more things. We need a wireless transmitter, which requires an obsidian stick, a wireless, one of these things. Basically, this is an old recipe. This is an old mod, or at least it was. And we just need to make wireless transceiver, wireless transmitter, and then a wireless relay. So we're going to need two of those. Another one of the pearls. We'll make the wireless transceiver, and then a stone bowl, and receiver dish. We need to make stone slabs, and there is the wireless receiver. We are going to duplicate both of these things, and we only actually need one of the wireless transceivers, but we're going to need 16 wireless receivers, and we're also going to want a lever, which we can easily make. So let's go ahead and make the lever. So what we just did is wireless redstone, and there's a few more things we need to do before we can set everything off, but we are almost there. I am going to place this right here for now, and the wireless transmitter sends things off. We are going to put the frequency to 100 because that's an easy number. That's not 0. And what we can now do is fight a zombie, because this is dark, as well as this. We don't want anything down here. That's for sure. So this is full. Oh, perfect. Okay, now let's test the other things. So this one I'm not sure about, so let's go ahead and always on. There's the glass bottle, and it's replaced. Perfect. How about this one? Is the milk? Perfect. Everything looks fine. Cool. So now what we do is go grab some stone, because I missed. So what we're gonna do is pretty simple, actually. We are going to put some wireless transceivers on the back of all of these things. We're going to set them all to 100. And we are going to boot up our really powerful rainbow generator. And it's going to give us a ton of power. Now, other things, all these other machines are going to also give us power, but it's going to be a lot less comparatively. That's fine. Apologies for this. This is a little motion sickness for even me. So we just need to go to all of these, set them to 100. And then there's one last thing we do need to do. And that is hook them all up to the crystal so that they actually drain out all their power. But yeah, I want to not be in this room when these guys are running, if I can help it, because those three machines are awful. It's probably also going to be really loud in here. And so I'm going to want to make sure, if need be, we can always put a sound muffler down here. Alright, just double checking. Everything is at 100. Now, if we click this guy, 16 generators not running, but they're all there. So it does know about them all. What else do we need to do? We need to crystal bind. So you get to be attached to every single one of these guys. And in fact, it should drain the power out. So you should have 16 wireless links. And you also have a ton of power already. And then we are going to connect you to this guy. Perfect. Now, that is connected to you. All right, here is the moment of truth, and hopefully everything goes well. If we flip this switch, we should see a very high jump. The rainbow generator was running for a second, and it's actually still going briefly. Now, something is slowing it up, and I'm not sure what, but it is running, and we are getting, so this is full, and we are getting a lot of power very quickly. So yeah, we're going to turn that off so we don't waste everything. And that's going to turn off all of those generators, and then the rest of the power is going to kind of flow through. Now, I'm curious if any of this stuff is... We didn't use too many of anything, really. I might go ahead and put in, for all the stuff that has item conduits, I might go ahead and put in a bunch of speed upgrades. But other than that, this worked really good. We have a lot of power. What is that? 15 billion RF currently? Now, that's not very much comparatively to anything, but that's a lot of power. So, that's going to be it for today's episode. We have a rainbow generator. It runs. Whenever I flip the switch, it just goes and generates a ton of power very, very quickly. I mean, just that, like, really quick generated another billion. So, I think it's like 20 million RF that it's generating per tick. It's a ridiculous amount of power. So now we get to kind of use that power. We're going to work on probably draconic stuff next time, and probably finish up most of the quest book outside of Project E, which is terrible, and extreme crafting. We might actually do a little bit more of that. So we'll see what we get into. I need to get to work on building this area up and all that kind of fun stuff. And I might work on that a little bit between episodes. We'll see. But regardless, that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!